Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to Money Control. I'm Karunya Rao and with me is Manisha Gupta, who is going to do some crystal ball gazing for us.
Okay then.
And tell us what lies ahead for the commodities space overall for the year 2023. Now, of course, there were some very dominant themes and names of different commodities that were doing the rounds all of last year. Let me start with metals. What do you think is likely to happen in the near future, at least for metals? Will they continue to be volatile? Because a lot of investors are saying they want to take contra positions now in metal stocks. What is likely for the metal commodity?
So, it's only by 15th of January that you know and understand what kind of portfolio allocations have been done. You see commodities moving exactly in that direction. So, we are still early days into that. But there are a couple of factors here. One, that China has started to take COVID as a case B infection disease rather than a case 1. So the case A rather. So that really seems to have frayed some nerves here. And then markets also are looking at the fact that a lot of restocking could be happening. You have Lunar New Year, which starts from 22nd of January, and we always do see that China buys ahead of that. So that is one thing to watch out. Second is that the markets do believe that there is buying that may start coming in from Europe as well. The renewables and the EV story is getting stronger yet again. So those are some supportive factors here. And the fact that many of these metals are off 25 to 45% from the 2022 highs on the charts does look lucrative to start buying at these levels. But then it also is about the Jan and Feb, the US Fed meet. You also have recession fears to look at. The economic data that the markets are anticipating in this by third week of January is something that will tell you on how December was and how January has started.
In fact, just this morning we've all seen a note from Jefferies which says that they're very optimistic about the Indian metal space. They've upgraded Tata Steel, they've upgraded Hindalco. Both of them were hold earlier and now they've been upgraded to a buy. They're saying that the weak margin cycle is over for these companies. So now one is a steel company, one is a player in the aluminum space. Do you or do analysts consensus have a pick on which metal to place the bets for? Is aluminium going to be the hot favorite even this year?
It does look like copper and aluminum do seem to be standing tall right now, especially aluminum, where you're looking at power rationing in China and Europe, and that could be a bit of a concern. Also, when you look at the aluminum inventories on LME, they have declined by 70% in 2022. When you look at the overall LME inventories, the stock that they have started this year is down the lowest in 25 years. So what LME has in sense of warehouses is the lowest in 25 years. So that tells you the on-ground reality. I mean, of course, not all metal has to go through LME, but even when you look at those numbers, that is supportive enough. Not just aluminum, look at zinc inventories, 90% of decline there. Zinc inventories are at 100-year lows on LME. So these numbers do tell you or do give you that confidence to go long in many of these metals.
And what about the precious metals, silver, gold? Because we've seen gold being the biggest or the best performing asset class for the year gone by. Will it continue that run rate, or can we expect some profit taking, some correction coming by, offering an opportunity for those who missed the bus?
Well, you wouldn't see the lows that you've seen in 2022. Sorry about that. But yes, you could be looking at some profit taking from here on. And the next 2 to 3 years for gold and silver are expected to be quite on the stronger side. You could be looking at newer highs in gold and silver in this year, the next year, until 2027 is what CPM says that these precious metals can stay in favor. So while of course the long-term investors will continue to be in place, but if you want to make a portfolio where you want to hold gold and silver for the next 2, 3 or 4 years, I think this is a great time to start buying.
Still you can buy, okay.
Oh well, yes. So gold, you could be looking at 2000 plus kind of levels. I mean, that's a very conservative view coming in from banks and brokerages.
It looks like more or less a given.
It does. And silver clearly, because with this we are getting into a fifth year of deficit. 2022 was a 4th year of deficit in the global markets. So with the kind of demand, the import, the physical buying that Indians are doing for silver, everything is quite positive there.
Okay, and finally, what's likely to happen with oil? Because again, second consecutive year where oil has closed in the green. Oil prices will remain volatile again like it was last year? Will it see a clear-cut trend or a trajectory?
You know, markets believe that we've seen a bottom for crude oil for the near term.
Okay.
We may not see 65 or 70 come back in this year because we've factored in the supply concerns. We've also factored in that the demand is coming back, especially from China for jet, aviation, transportation, businesses back to normal. Freight, logistics, the seaborne trade is also quite back. So the demand is coming back here. The only one thing that the street will want to watch out for is on what Russia says, because Russia has made it clear that 5 to 7% of an output cut is what they're looking for in the first quarter of 2023. Markets have factored that in. The only one thing that we haven't factored in is what OPEC would do. OPEC has been pretty quiet, silent for the last 2 or 3 months. So the next few would come in from them. Having said that, $100 to 110 of an average crude prices for Brent is what the street is working with this
But
year.
on the downside, any levels to watch?
I think 75 should be a strong support. Is the kind of low that we've seen for 2022 as well. So that is expected to be an immediate low. On the higher side, 115 is what the markets are ranging crude prices as.
Okay, well, there you have it. Metals, precious metals and oil prices all summed up in this one long video that we put together for you on the outlook for 2023. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with a fresh new update.